Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope your Monday's not like a Monday. I just hope you're off to a good start. I'm Jenny Anchondo. This is Morning After, and it's not just any Monday. It is No Meltdown Monday, where we try to really, we talk about our mental health. We try to lift you up, try to get some answers, and we're bringing in Lee Richardson, who is the clinical director and founder of the Brain Performance Center. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning.
Okay, so we've all been talking about just sort of this losing of the mojo. And when we read about this term languishing, so many people across our team were like, you know what? I feel that. So can you explain from your perspective what languishing actually is?
Well, languishing is just really not being here. Are you here? Yeah, I'm here. But you're not present. You're not staying in the moment. You're not engaging. You're not observing what's going on around you. You're just here.
And do you think that's what leads to sort of this lower mood that seems to be associated with languishing?
I do.
Not
I think it's very simple that everybody needs something to look forward to. And if you're just here, you don't have anything to look forward to. You can't see that far ahead. And that does leave you in a really low mood.
Would this be comparable to the blahs? I'm sure that's a clinical term.
Well, I think, the blahs and languishing have a lot in common, but I really like the way that languishing sounds. It sounds a lot more fun than having the blahs.
Right? Yeah, I know. So what's the difference, though, when we talk about somebody who has clinical depression? When are you just sort of in this phase of languishing where you're not really participating in life and where you actually are clinically depressed and perhaps need to seek help for that?
Well, someone that has clinical depression may not be able to get out of bed. They may use sleep as a coping skill because it's just easier to sleep through it than to deal with it. They may have some thoughts, some suicidal thoughts. It might be easier to just not be here. So there is a big difference. But languishing is something, it is okay to not be okay. And I wrote a book, Turn Your Brain On to Get Your Game On, for that one reason. People need to understand it's okay to not be okay. And I think it's good that you give it a name. When I haven't been happy for a few days, hey, Joy, where are you, girl? Come see me.
Should we be concerned about this if people are watching and feeling like, yeah, I'm not really participating and I really don't have anything to look forward to? Or is this something that will pass with the pandemic?
I think that you should be concerned. You should pay attention to it and stop and, set yourself up to tell yourself it's okay not to be okay. And set a small goal, something that you can accomplish every day. Because when you accomplish something, it helps you stay present. It makes you feel better about yourself. You have to be your own mental health advocate.
Okay, so we're setting small goals. What else can we do to kind of to pull ourselves out? Should we plan something to look forward to, or is that a false sense of getting out of languishing?
No, I think every day, if you have something to look forward to, and it doesn't have to be grand, it can be as simple as I haven't talked to this friend in over a month. I'm going to call her or him, and I'm going to make contact. But I think that what we have to do is make a real effort to stay present in the moment instead of just being here.
Well, Lee, what about this for people who are languishing at work? A lot of people have been in these just tight work situations where we are stressed to the max because of, either some people are working from home and that works well for them or doesn't, or some people are, distanced at work or perhaps short-staffed because of the current situation. And I think that can lead to a little bit of languishing, like not really feeling as vital as before. How do you sort of course correct?
I think you make an excellent point. Our environment has a huge influence on us. And that's one thing that has changed greatly in the last year. Some people love working from home and don't want to go back to the office. Some people miss it and they can't wait to get back in there. So the environment that we're in certainly has made a huge contribution to the languishing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lee. I appreciate your time. It was fun to chat with you.
Thank you.
I feel like I just said that okay in a languishing way. I should have done like a, Lee, you rock. Okay, here is her book, thebrainperformancecenter.com. Again, her book is Turn Your Brain On to Get Your Game On, the how, what, why to peak performance. Okay, Ron, did that help? Did that get us out of the languish?
I'm getting